is a quick cursive yoga short focusing mainly on standing poses and chest movements. So if that sounds like something that would appeal to you today, go ahead and just make your way to standing near the front of your mat. Open your feet a comfortable distance width apart, knees facing forward, second toes facing forward. Wiggle your toes. Then inhale, lift your toes up, feel the arches of the feet waking up, feel the leg muscles hugging to the bone, feel the muscles around your hips hugging in, feel the low ribs hugging in and up, hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back, head and neck floating above the rest of the spine, spreading those toes nice and wide apart if they'll move for you, and then keep this engagement through the muscles you've just activated, but lowering the toes to the ground, pressing the toes into the earth as you feel that lightness, that lift through the arches. Feel the breath moving through you. And just with your next exhale, keeping most of the engagement you just activated, soften your knees a little bit. Breathe. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhaling out. Deep, full breath in. One more time. Deep, full breath in. Then keeping the connection to the breath, keeping the breath deep and full. If you would like to come to Ujjayi breathing, if you know what that is, you can. Otherwise, just keeping the breath nice and deep and full, keeping the connection to the breath throughout the practice. If at any point you lose the connection of the breath, come back to it. And just also pay attention to how you feel and honor what that is. Feel free to adapt, to modify the practice to suit your needs. Even if what I say sounds like a command, it's an invitation. Breathe. We will go ahead and start with an Om. Hands together. Exhaling. Inhale. Then exhale, gently releasing the hands, riding the wave of the breath. Inhale, moving through the shoulders, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, lower the arms to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Left hand grabs right wrist. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Inhale, up to center. Right hand grabs left wrist. Exhale to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, left hand, right wrist to the left. Holding here. Pressing firmly down through both feet, the right foot as much as the left, as you feel the spine lengthening out of the hips. Breathe. And then inhale, up to center, right hand, left wrist. Exhale to the right. Press strongly down through the left foot as much as the right, and then lengthening the spine out of the hips. Breathing here. Inhale, up to center. Go ahead, interlace your hands. Turn the palms away from you with the elbows bent, and only straightening the arms as much as feels good for your neck and shoulders. Once you're here, root from the hips down into the earth. Feel the low ribs lifting in and up out through the crown of the head. And then inhale, you can move the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale and slide the shoulders a little bit away. Inhale, slide the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, slide the shoulders away. Notice how that feels for your neck. And inhale, slide the shoulders up towards the ears. Notice how that feels in the low back. Exhale, happy medium. And then with the following exhale, arms come wide and to your hips. With your hands on your hips, press down through the hips. And then go ahead, hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. And feel the sternum, this bone here, pressing up into your fingers just a little bit. And then inhale and lift it up higher. Press your chest more up into your thumbs, doing a small chest lift. And then exhale and release back to center. Inhale, press your chest into your thumbs, lifting it up, shoulders hugging towards each other on the back. Exhale, release back to center. Inhale, small chest lifts up into the thumb. Neck stays pretty center, head stays pretty centered. And then exhale, go ahead and release. Releasing the hands to the sides here. And then inhale, just feel expansiveness through the body. Exhale with your knees bent, pivoting at the hips, folding forward. Act like you're going to reach way forward down in front of you. Inhale and come back up. Exhale, pivoting at the hips, reaching way forward out in front of you. Maybe hands come all the way to the ground. If you need to bend the knees, that's fine. Let the knees be bent. breathing here. And then with your next exhale, only if it feels good, you can walk your hands back in towards your feet, folding. Nice, full, deep breaths. Then inhale, slide the hands up the legs and lengthen. Exhale, sliding down and folding. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Feel the breath moving through you. With the knees as wide apart as the feet, inhale and bend your knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, back up to standing. Inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana. Take your hands to the right knee, shift your weight into that right foot, and take a big step back with your left foot. Right knee right on top of the ankle, pointing towards second or third toe. If you want to wiggle the left foot back further, you can. Hug in from your feet to your hips and stretch your spine nice and long here. Then exhale, lower the left hand down to the ground. Inhale, turn your chest to the right, and if you want to, you can lift the right hand up to the sky. With your next inhale, feel a broadening and expansiveness to the chest. With your next exhale, feel the bottom tips of your shoulder blades gently moving towards each other on the back. Breathing here. And then with your next exhale, lower the right hand down to the ground too, if that works for you. If not, it can come to your knee. And then from here, if you want to, start to walk your hands forward out in front of the shoulders. Feel that outer right hip pulling back as you stretch your spine out of the hips here. Breathe. Nice, full, deep breaths. And then go ahead and walk your hands back in towards your feet. Right hand to the right knee, hugging in from your feet to your hips. Left hand to the right knee. Press down to that right foot. Slide, wiggle, scoot the left foot forward. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, hands to that left knee. Inhale, step the right foot back. Left knee right on top of the ankle, pointing towards the second or third toe. Inhale, stretch your spine nice and long. Exhale, the right hand towards the ground. Inhale, turning your chest to the left, and if you want to, left hand can lift up to the sky. Breathing here. Notice this left shoulder. If it pops forward, if it comes forward, go ahead, lower your hand down and just roll the shoulder a little bit on the back. And then with that shoulder on the back, only lift the left hand up as much as feels good for your body. Breathing here. Nice, full, deep breaths. Head and neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then exhale, lower the left hand down to the ground if that works for you. Walk your hands forward out in front of the shoulders. Stretch forward through the chest and your armpits as you pull that outer left hip back. Breathing here. Be careful this left knee doesn't bend too much past the ankle. Nice, full, deep breaths. Go ahead and walk your hands back in. Left hand to the left knee. Press strongly through that knee and the foot. Right hand lifts up. Press strongly through the left foot. Right foot forward. Hands together in front of the heart. Shoulders together on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, your hands to your hips. With your hand on the hips, rooting down through the hips. Inhale, lift your sternum up, lift your chest up. Exhale, release it back to neutral. Again, head and neck not moving so much. Inhale, lift your sternum up. Exhale, release back to neutral. Inhale, lift the sternum up. Exhale, release back to neutral. And then with your next exhale, go ahead and drop the chest down like someone just presses into the bottom of your chest. And then inhale back to neutral. Exhale, drop the chest down. Again, head and neck trying not to move too much. Back to neutral. Head and chest drop down, or chest drop down, head stays centered. Inhale back to neutral, breathing here. And then from here, hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. Turn and face the side. Open your legs nice and wide apart. How wide apart? Wide enough that you feel like you're working, not so wide that you're feeling like you're going to fall over. Knees facing towards the long end of the mat now. Second toes too. Hug in from your feet to your hips. Feel the muscles around your hips hugging in. Hands to a T. Gently hug the bottom tips of your shoulder blades in towards each other too. Breathing here. Nice, full, deep breaths. Then go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. Left toes turn towards the right. Right toes turn out to the right. Right knee points towards your second or third toe. Exhale and bend. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Right elbow to your right leg, gently pressing the knee open. Left arm just along the sides. And again, feel a broadening through the chest. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. Line your head and neck up with the rest of the spine. Feel free to stay here, Parsvakonasana variation, or you can swing the left arm alongside by your ear, pressing down strongly into the earth through the feet. And then inhale, legs stay steady, rise up to the torso, look over the right fingers. Exhale, hands back to your hips, straightening that right leg some. Turn the right toes towards the left a little bit. Left toes all the way out to the left. Left knee points towards second or third toe. Exhale and bend. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Left elbow to the left leg, gently pressing the knee open. Right arm along the sides. Shoulders on the back. Head and neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then maybe swinging that right arm alongside by the ear. Breathing here. And then press down to your feet, rising up through the torso. Go ahead and straighten that left leg some. Left toes turn in, right toes turn out. Right knee tracks towards second or third toe, hands to your hips. Exhale and bend that knee. Move your elbows and shoulders towards each other on the back. If you want to, you can interlace the hands behind the back with your left finger starting the process. And then from here, exhale, gently let the back round, folding forward towards your right ankle. And if you want to, you can keep your hands on your hips here, or you can stretch the arms off the hips. If it's easy for you to straighten the arms all the way, then intentionally bend your elbows just a little bit and pull them gently apart. Breathe. Inhale, nice long spine, come all the way up. Second side, right toes turn in, left toes turn out, hands to the hips. Left knee points towards second or third toe and bends, and then gently folding forward. If you want to, you can interlace the hands, flipping your fingers that you did the interlace with. Breathing here. If you want to, you can stretch your arms off the back. If you'd like to repeat Parsvakonasana, the pose we did previously, you can repeat that side angle pose. Breathe. And then press down through your feet, come all the way up. Turn all 10 toes to the long end of the mat, knees a little soft. Inhale, tilting at the hips, reach way forward out in front of you. Exhale and come back up. And then inhale, lengthen the spine here. Exhale gently with a long spine, tilting the hips, fold. And just notice how far you can go before your back tries to round. Stop wherever that is. Inhale, stretch your spine long again. And then exhale and gently let the back round. And you can lower the hands to the legs or to the floor. Breathe. Nice full deep breaths. Hugging in from your feet to your hips. Hands to the hips, shoulders on the back, nice long spine, all the way up to standing. Then with your knees soft, heel toe, your feet in towards each other. Shake out the legs. Come back to standing, hands to your hips, rooting down to the hips. And now what I want you to try to do is to slide your chest over to the left side, and then to try to slide your chest to the right side. So it's like someone has a hand and just pushes your chest to the left, and then someone has a hand and pushes your chest to the right. Head and neck and hips stay pretty centered. Your knees might need to be a little bit soft here, and then just sliding the chest to one side and then the other. Okay, come back to center here. And now crunching the side waistline. So go ahead, squeeze the right side, let your chest go down, and then squeeze the left side. And this time your head and neck will move with the chest, but just noticing the difference between these two movements, between contracting the sides of your waist and letting the chest move down, and then coming back to center and just pushing the chest a little side to side. Breathe. And then go ahead, you can straighten the legs and come to standing near the top of the mat. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back, feel the breath. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, hands to your hips. Go ahead and take a step back with your left foot. Both legs fairly straight. Press down through your feet, hug into your hips. Feeling the right hip moving a little bit back, the left hip moving a little bit forward. Hips facing towards the front. Pressing down to the hips, lift the low back up out of the hips. Think of your sternum and curling that up towards the sky. Feeling the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, lifting the chest up. Breathing here. Tailbone stays lengthening down. And then inhale, coming back up to the chest. Soften the right knee, step the left foot forward, right foot back. Hug in from your feet to your hips, lengthen the tailbone down. Start to lift the low back up out of the hips. Feel the bottom tips of the shoulder blades curling the chest towards the sky. Make sure your hips don't tilt so your tailbone lifts up. Make sure your tailbone stays lengthening down as you breathe here. Nice, full, deep breaths. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Step the right foot forward and take a big step back with the left foot. So nice big step. Hug in from your feet to your hips. Point your right knee towards the second or third toe, hands on the hips, trying to keep your hips in this position, this nice upright position. As you exhale and bend the right knee, tracking it towards the second or third toe. Inhale and straighten. And then exhale and bend and hold, lifting the hands up to the sky. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. You can lift up to the sternum just a little bit here, and maybe lift your gaze up to the sky here. Hands apart, or if it's okay for your shoulders, you can bring the hands all the way together. Breathing. And then leaning forward, press down to the right foot, step the left foot forward. Hands to your hips, big step back with your right foot. Hug in from your feet to your hips, turning the hips to face forward. Spin the left knee towards the second or third toe, keeping your hips in this tilt, in this position as you bend the left knee only as much as feels good for you. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Then hugging in from the feet to the hips, lift the arms up, maybe a little lift up to the chest, maybe gaze lifts up, maybe hands come together. Breathing here, Virabhadrasana one. Try to feel the arch of your right foot lifting up if your back heel is down, and you can lift that back heel up if that's more comfortable for your knee or for any part of your body for that matter. And then go ahead and lean forward, straightening that left leg a little bit, step the right foot forward. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back, feel the breath moving through you. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Let your knees bend and just let yourself relax over the legs as much as comfortable. Now, if this is not a good position for your low back, walk your hands forward and lengthen the spine, or bring your hands to your legs and stay there instead in a more extended spine position where the back is safer. But if this is okay for you, you're going to turn your palms up towards the sky and maybe step or walk your feet onto your hands so your toes are pressing against the wrist. Then press down to the front part of your foot, the toes and the balls, and maybe just straightening the legs however much feels good for you. Breathe in here. And then go ahead and bend the knees, stepping off your hands, and walk your feet back into a downward facing dog. Pressing those hips up, back away from you. You can bend the right knee, straighten out to the left leg. You can bend the left knee, straighten out to the right leg. Just moving your hips gently from side to side here as you breathe. And then when you're ready, exhale and lower down to all fours, hands and knees. We are going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. Feel free to do them this way, kind of the way they're usually done. Feel free to bring your hands into a fist if that feels better for your wrist, or feel free to see how it feels to turn your fingers back towards your knees as long as this doesn't hurt your elbows or your wrists. Then inhale and stretch the spine long. Exhale and round the back, look at the navel. Inhale and arch the back, head and tailbone up to the sky. Exhale and round. Inhale and arch. Just moving back and forth to the flow of your breath. Go ahead and come to center and make your way, as you're ready, into a child's pose. Breathing here, nice full deep breaths. Hips towards the floor, head towards the floor, but only as much as feels good for you. So if both are lifted up, that's fine. If it works for your body, bring your knees together, feet close, and start to walk your hands back, coming into a kneeling position. Only if this works for you. You can play with this position by staying leaning forward with the hips lifted up a little bit. So don't force any of these positions. Breathe. And if you're feeling comfortable here, hands can reach out towards the sky, hands can interlace, and you can stretch the back of your hands towards the sky, pulling the pinky finger side down a little bit as you press up more towards the thumb index finger side. And then exhale, go ahead and release. Turn to face the long end of the mat, opening your right leg over to the right, left foot coming in between the hips. And then bring your hands just in front of the hips and try to sit up nice and tall here. Now, if that doesn't work for you, if your tailbone tucks under, if your hips tuck under, you can try bending the right knee some to help sit up nice and tall, or you can just grab a block, a pillow, anything, and you just sit on it. So feel free to sit on something to elevate your hips so you can sit up nice and tall. From here, we're going to take the right arm inside the right leg, and then left arm alongside by the ears, coming into a side stretch. And then inhale, come up to center. Right foot in between the hips. Left leg over to the left. Again, feel free to bend the left knee. Feel free to sit on some height. Left arm inside the left leg, pressing against. And then right arm alongside by the ear, just leaning over to the left side. Right hip roots down. Feel the breath moving through you. And then go ahead and come up to sitting with the right leg crossed in front of the left here. And then sitting with the right leg crossed in front of the left here, rest your hands on your knees and inhale and lift up to the chest. Exhale and relax down. Inhale, lift up to the chest. Exhale, relax down, keeping your head and neck centered. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, relax down. Go ahead, take your left leg in front of the right. Inhale, lift up to the chest. Exhale, slide it to the right. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale to the left. I'm going to change the breathing pattern here. So the breathing pattern is actually exhale, lift up to the chest. Inhale to the right. Exhale, drop down. Inhale to the left. Exhale, lift up to the chest. Inhale to the right. Exhale, drop down. Inhale to the left. And then if it works for you, try to smooth that out. Again, try not to move the head and neck so much, but circling the chest. And then you can change the direction of the circles. And coming back to center here, we're going to come to all fours in this direction and extend the right foot over to the right side. Foot could be flexed or pointed. Then from here, lengthen the spine nice and long and start to walk your hands over to the right. Breathing here. Feel free to stay here or turning your chest towards the sky, stretching the left arm alongside by the hips. Feel the shoulders on the back here. Feel free to stay here, or left arm alongside by the ear. Breathe. And then exhale the left hand down. Go ahead and come back to center. Left leg over to the left. Spine extending, and then walk your hands over to the left. If you want to, opening the chest to the side, right arm by the hip, breathing here. And if you would like, you can stretch the right arm alongside by the ear. Nice full deep breaths. Exhale, go ahead and release. And make your way to all fours facing the narrow end of the mat and come into a child's pose. Breathe. Make your way to sitting with the legs forward out in front of you. Bend your knees though enough that you can sit up nice and tall. So you're making sure your hips aren't tucked under. You're sitting up nice and tall here. And then from here, make sure your hips can tilt. Then you're going to tilt your hips so the tailbone is back behind you. You might even wiggle the butt back. You might wiggle the hips back a little bit. Grab wherever's comfortable on the legs. If you want to grab for big toes, you can. First two fingers grab in between the big toe and the next toe over. Thumb wraps around the inside of the big toe. And then you press the big toe out here. Inhale, lifting up through the spine and lengthening. Exhale, and folding in. If you want to slowly extend the legs straighter, you can do that. Breathing wherever you're at. And then go ahead and come up. We're going to end in sitting today. So come again to a comfortable cross-legged position. If one of the other traditional sitting positions are more comfortable for you, like Siddhasana, you can do that. Bring your hands to your knees. And again, just circling through the chest, just seeing how that feels like for you. Changing the direction of the chest circles. And then come to center. Gently rock your hips a little side to side. And then you can do little pelvic tilts again, rounding and arching the back. And then come to a place where you feel comfortably balanced on the rigid bones at the base of the hips and that your tailbone's not tucked under. And again, if your tailbone is tucking under and nothing you do really fixes that, then go ahead, sit on something. Then from here, just rest your hands someplace comfortable. Soften or close your eyes. And just stacking yourself up above those hips so the spine isn't straightened out. It has its natural curves, but you feel a little bit of space between the vertebrae of the spine. The head and neck is floating above the rest of the spine. Soften or close your eyes and turn inside, coming to your breath. And just feeling the breath move through you. If it helps you, go ahead and bring one hand just to the low ribs. So you really just feel the body moving with the breath. And settle into that flow. And just staying here for a while, focusing on the breath. And whenever another thought crops up or something comes into your mind, today, I invite you to return the focus when you notice that's happening back to the breath. If it helps, you can do hum on the inhale and so on the exhale. So hum on the inhale, so on the exhale. Or any other small mantra that you like. But staying here as long as you would like. I'm going to end this video with a Om now, but please, please, please stay here as long as you would like.